Father has sent Jesus, so he now sends us. I'm going to invite Jim West and Tim Cole to come up now, and they're going to share briefly with you, notice how I do that briefly with you, what they experienced as they went through this process of learning their gifts to try and excite you about signing up for the classes that we're going to be offering. Jim and Tim, if you would come up. You make a good team, Jim and Tim.
Team Jim and Tim show. Good morning, everyone. It's nice that, well, I guess last week was a lot more people here. I wish I could have been here, but we took my mother back to Toledo, Ohio for an 80th surprise birthday party, and also to go to Easter at my church that I grew up in. A lot of things hit me when I went home, especially because we did the natural church development. Unfortunately, my home church right now is being sold, and they no longer have a congregation. And once I looked at that, I looked at what we were doing in the natural church development, and you can see a church that you think is healthy, just like your own human body, you may think it's healthy. But there's something inside, or there's a lack of something inside, that is not allowing you to be as healthy as possible. And one of the things that I had learned through the natural church development, after taking all the surveys, we took a survey ourselves and tried to find out exactly what our spiritual gifts were. Me personally, I was very surprised. I had no idea. And I think anybody on the health team that went through it, we knew every time we talked about this, I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe these are my spiritual gifts. But they were. My spiritual gifts were craftsmanship, missionary, voluntary poverty, hospitality, and knowledge. Now, when you look at them, craftsmanship, obviously I think everybody can understand it is doing creative things with your hands, and my wife knows I'm forever fixing up our house. But craftsmanship also, not only within our church, but outside our church, doing things to help our community. The missionary was the one that really blew me away, because I had never ever thought of myself of a missionary. And there is a slight difference between going out and being an evangelist and being a missionary. And so for me, the missionary part, I thought, I don't think this is right. But if you combine it with craftsmanship, you can understand how that would line up. Voluntary poverty is not necessarily, I'm going to go out and live in my box, cardboard box, like Phil was always saying, he wanted to live in his cardboard box. But it was the idea of living within your means and also helping your church and those around you to understand how God wants you to live within your means. Hospitality, I think everybody can understand that. I'm a pretty hospitable guy, I think. And next Sunday, I hope everybody does come, because this is one of the things that we want to have within the church, the hospitality. In knowledge,
That's what we could believe.
yeah. Well, like my family will tell you, I am full of useless knowledge. Knowledge that most people wouldn't want in their head, but I unfortunately have in my head. And it's because I want it there. But the spiritual gifts you have are given to you from God. A lot of you right now may not even know what they are. And this is what this program is for. It's for us to understand what they are and how to apply them in the church. How to make our church healthier than it is now. Just like your body. The healthier you're going to eat, the healthier you're going to be. Our church is growing. Let's not have 50 years from now a situation that I had with my own church and us deciding what to do, to sell a building and to close down a congregation. It's not a happy thing, and we're here for happy things. So I really encourage all of you to be a part of the natural church development. It's going to help you, it's going to help the church, and it's also going to help the community, because we're going to get more involved. Not only with the community, but with the church and with everybody that's sitting next to you.
Some of the things that I discovered going through this process Initially, you find where you are in your faith. And your faith has dimensions: wisdom, commitment, power. And every one of us has a blend of these things as part of their faith. Initially, you will do a test that is a series of questions, and the answers will help you find personally where you currently are in your faith life. I found that I was strong in the wisdom and commitment of my faith, but felt weak in the area of power to be an effective witness for my faith. Where are you now? And where will you be going? Through readings, you will discover how to strengthen your areas of weakness in your faith. And Tim spoke of spiritual gifts. What are your spiritual gifts? Through another series of questions, you will chart your own spiritual gifts, both manifest and latent gifts. There are some surprises, and I had one very much so. One of the top gifts I had was the gift of healing. And first I thought, what is the gift of healing? How do I have it? We think of healing as the laying on of hands and the driving out of evil spirits. But I realized that I did not have that type of healing. But a lot of my faith was based on healing through prayer. And in many ways, one of my gifts was really healing. I feel strongly that prayer, each and every day, helps with the healing. And what surprises might you find out about your faith and your faith journey?
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll have one or two more next week also talk about their experience through the class and what they learned and what how exciting it was for them. We'll bring the praise team up on talk. And we'll, at that point, have a schedule of what time and date and places the classes are going to be offered. Each of our small groups and many of our committees are going to take on the role of forming individual groups at individual times to start to teach this. And the idea is that anybody else can plug into any of these places, any of these spaces. So we hope to have that schedule ready for you next week so that you can begin to sign up and take part in the church as we continue to grow and experience what it means to be a healthy church. Let's stand, if you're able, let's stand and sing, I stand in awe.